What's up guys, Krenar here, aka Crypto Cray. In today's video, I want to discuss Coinbase's latest announcement that they are potentially looking into adding 5 new coins onto their platform, what I think that means short term and what I think that could potentially mean long term for the coins that they announced. So before we get into the video, if you haven't already, please check out my previous video on how to value a cryptocurrency and the use cases of Bitcoin. I think if you're new to cryptocurrency, you'll find those, I think those will be helpful, and if you're new to the channel, I think you'll find them interesting. So getting into today's topic, the latest Coinbase announcement, they actually sent out a tweet to announce this, stating that they are looking into adding 5 coins to their network. That's going to be, and they announced that was going to be Cardano, Basic Attention Token, Stellar Lumens, Zcash, and 0x. So these are the 5 that they listed, and they made sure to list or to explicitly call out in that release, in that press release, that this is just an announcement that they are thinking about adding them. There is no way a guarantee that all of these coins will be listed or that any of them will be listed. But and so I kind of want to get into my thought process of how I'm kind of thinking about this announcement. So for me, I think the reason that they came out with this announcement was that after the last time that they added Bitcoin Cash, that was kind of a spur of the moment. They just went out and said, hey, this is how we now currently are going to have Bitcoin Cash. Anyone who owned Bitcoin on the exchange prior to the fork of Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash, we're going to deposit Bitcoin Cash into their accounts, and it'll be live for trading. And they announced it the day that it was available. And what ended up happening, or what was accused of Coinbase, was that internal employees knew about this, and they kind of front run the market to pump up the price. There was some suspicious activity that happened in terms of the price of Bitcoin Cash before that addition onto Coinbase happened. And so as we see with the last coin that they actually added, Ethereum Classic, they kind of gave a little bit of a heads up for that one. And I think that this is why they're coming out and they're announcing that they're looking into adding these 5 coins, because they want to show that this time when they're doing the evaluation process, that it's a lot more transparent. They want everyone to know that, hey, these 5 coins, we're currently looking at them. We're making no promises that any or all of them make it on the platform, but we just want to say these are the ones that we're looking into. So that's the first thing. No guarantee that all of these make it onto the platform for Coinbase. But I think what I will say though is that Coinbase coming out and announcing that they're thinking about adding these 5 is going to give legitimacy to these coins, and I think is going to overall increase the appetite for risk taking within the retail market. I think that for the average person, when they have to buy coins on Coinbase, so they have to buy either Bitcoin or Ethereum, they're having to buy it on Coinbase, which for them, especially if you're in the United States, that's going to be your easiest entry, your fiat gateway into buying cryptocurrencies. Then you learn, okay, well, now I have to make an account on a separate exchange where now I'm going to move my Bitcoin or Ethereum to then buy these alternative currencies, and then the price of Bitcoin could fluctuate between the time that I actually end up receiving it on Coinbase and then sending it to Binance, let's call, for example, Binance, if you're sending it there. And then so the price might have fluctuated. There might have been a delay in you actually in Coinbase actually depositing your first set of coins in order to then go and buy these altcoins. So I think that there's currently maybe a little bit of suppression in the market for money that would be going into altcoins just because of this kind of barrier for especially new retail customers. So I think that's the first part, that having this fiat gateway for the average retail investor is really going to open up their appetite to owning some of these alternative currencies. Additionally, Coinbase is known for being very strict in the coins that they want on their platform. They make it a case that they don't want anything that could be perceived as a scam or anything that they don't believe that any of their customers should be holding. So I think just the fact that they listed these 5 coins basically gives those projects more and more credibility in terms of their actual project and the value of their currency by even being listed by Coinbase as being a potential coin that they would add. Secondly, I think that's important to this, that ties in to this announcement, was their previous announcement that they went ahead and are setting up a custodial service where any institution that wants to buy large sums of cryptocurrency through them now has a means of storage, right? I think that's also a roadblock in terms of larger investors getting into the cryptocurrency investing scene, because basically they have these large sums of money, but they have really there's very to little way of securing those funds, right? If you think with typical institutions where they're buying either from hedge funds or they're buying stocks, those aren't really easily hacked. There's already institutions in place that keep those safe. And with cryptocurrency, as I think we all know, it's kind of the wild west. Leaving it on an exchange, for the most part, it can potentially be a roll of the dice, especially if it's a smaller exchange. But even we've seen larger exchange get hacked. So I think that in combination with the custodial service, this is going to really increase the appetite for institutional investors to potentially look into buying into these maybe currently smaller, lower capped altcoins. And so lastly, I'll end the video with my kind of which ones I think more likely have a chance of getting listed. So I think off the bat, Zcash has the best chance, just because they're already currently listed on Gemini, which I think is the second largest, or maybe second or third largest exchange in the United States. They recently added Zcash, so I think that there's precedent for Coinbase to go to regulators and have that added onto their platform, since that's already on another major exchange. I think that probably has the easiest path to getting added. And second to that, I think Basic Attention Token, BAT, has below is kind of in the second tier of potentially being added, because they have a working product. If you don't already know what Basic Attention Token actually does, is that it is the native currency within the Brave browser. So basically the Brave browser is a browser that you would buy, or that you would use, that you could download for free and use outside of using the standard Chrome, Safari, Firefox. And basically you use the Brave browser, and the browser basically can tell by the way you are interacting with content that you're watching over their browser. They can measure your attention to ads, and basically you get paid in this cryptocurrency for being for interacting with ads. And then these tokens would be wanted to be purchased by advertisers who are looking to advertise on the Brave browser. So basically it creates this marketplace between users that are using the browser and consuming ads, and advertisers that want to buy up ad space for users of the browser that are going to use it. So I think since there's an established product in place, I think that kind of clears the muddiness of whether a coin might be perceived as a security. And then all of the other three, 0x, Cardano, and Stellar Lumens, I think all equally have just as equal of a chance of getting on. 0x has ties to Ethereum, and Coinbase currently has Ethereum, so I think that's one pathway, one connection that might lend itself to having 0x added onto Coinbase. I know that's been rumored for a while. Cardano, that project is being spearheaded by one of actually the co-founders of Ethereum, Charles Hoskinson. So that could potentially, since he has an Ethereum connection, I think, and since Coinbase is really pro Ethereum, I think that they might favor adding a coin for someone that was instrumental in the development of one of their kind of main currencies that they currently have on their platform. And Stellar Lumens, which I think competes in the same space as Ripple in terms of being like a funding platform. I know recently a lot of ICOs have been ICOs are potentially going to be launched on the Stellar platform. So that's another one to keep an eye out for. So in the short term, I think we've seen pumps on all of these coins, and disclaimer, this is not financial advice, but I would say to stay clear of trying to trade these things short term unless you have a lot of experience, because what you're going to see is pumps because of the news, but then you're ultimately going to see, I think, a reversion to the mean to the price. But long term, I think, is what you really want to keep what you want to set your sights onto, is that these 5 coins being announced by Coinbase adds further legitimacy to them as projects. And I think it's a pretty safe bet that some of these, ultimately one of these 5, if not more, ultimately end up on the platform, and that's going to increase the fiat capital that can be converted for these coins. So I think that just that gives a clear increased path to adoption, but also a path to a higher price. So I think all of these should be on your radar going into the future. And so that's going to end the video. Let me know what you guys think Do you think any of these coins have the best chance, maybe in a different order that I listed? Do you guys think that there could potentially be any larger news by Coinbase in the future? So please let me know. If you have a comment, leave it down below. If you guys like the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you guys like the content on the channel, please subscribe. That'll help to grow the channel, and it'll help give awareness to the channel. So thanks guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.